Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. Here we are again. Love Island US Season 2, Episode 10. Bit of a quieter episode today, Chris. Where do you want to start?
Well, Dave, I'll tell you where I want to start. Now, you've been up and down the strip, and I have. And I think for $7 a day, it used to be $7 a day. When we went in 2018, I didn't get the buses. But you can get a day rider, which takes you all the way up to Fremont Street and back. And you can hop on and hop off. It's probably about $15 each now, I reckon. But we did it in 2012. I'm trying to find, Dave, what fucking bus Kierstan threw fucking Connor under, because there was a stream of them going past. Because when she had that conversation with Mackenzie, it was like, this isn't going to go well for you, Connor. And I will say, Dave, before I let you speak, is I think Connor, as much as we're all slating Mackenzie for being controlling and all that, he's not doing himself any favours the way he handles this. And also, I can sort of sympathise with her a little bit because his signalling is completely the opposite of what he actually wants to do. And when he's with the boys, he's all tough and oh yeah, I'm going to show her. But when he's with her, he just crumbles. And whether that's her domineering way or not, he's going to have to change because he's really, really going to upset her if this carries on.
Yeah, I agree with her. And I wondered where you're going with that bus thing, but very good. I like it. I
It
like
took me
it.
a while.
No, honestly, I mean, we saw a little bit of it, didn't we, in the first look? And I was like, oh, he's gone under the bus. He is not going to come out well in it, well out of this one. I agree with you. I think, since she's had a couple of people mention to her, so Rachel mentioned to her about her being a bit controlling. Trey said to her how she reacts in certain situations. I think without them having that chat, his balls would have been, they'd have been tickling his tonsils, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
She'd have booted him that hard. But I think she's probably taken that on board, and then she cut him a bit of slack. But I agree. I think he needs to do a bit of growing up as well. So he needs to grow a pair and actually, call her out when she is being a bit controlling, because actually, what it's coming off as is being quite two-faced.
Yes.
And I think it's because he's trying to avoid the confrontation that it's coming across that way. But no, I was surprised. I think it ended up. It kind of got resolved. I think. I mean, do you think it's fully resolved now? That
I do, and I've got to give Mackenzie credit, Dave, because she is addressing the way she approaches things, and it's quite interesting in the space of like 10 days that she's in on a bit of a journey herself,
Mhm.
and hopefully she swings it back because I've still got my doubts, but I must admit I did think what she said at the end was quite grown up. I still think, Dave, if someone else comes in, he's going to do the shithouse move and he's going to get with some girl who knocks him off his socks. And what he'll do is he probably won't even tell Mackenzie. He'll just sort of slide off, a bit like Gareth Keenan on The Office Day when he gets on the back of that bike with the sidecar. He'll just go off into the distance if no one's noticed. Even if he should notice that I'm in someone else's bed, because he's got no backbone for me at all. And I honestly think I don't think there's. I thought it was Mackenzie, and I said that, didn't I? Mark my words. I wasn't far wrong with the relationship, but I thought it was Mackenzie would be the one, and I was wrong. I think Connor's going to boot her to the curb, Dave, in the next few episodes.
I see this one as being 50-50. I think you're right. I think it appears right now that Mackenzie has taken on board some of the things that people have said to her, given her some good advice. Like dishes out plenty of good advice herself. She's had some herself, and the way she handled that was better. Now, her behaviour before, I think, was pushing Connor away. And I think
Yes.
without that behaviour, he wouldn't have been so quick to entertain the idea of coupling up with Lauren. And so I think by her handling that in quite a grown up way, I think Connor might just be thinking, you know what, actually, okay, maybe there is a future in this. Whereas before, he was telling the lads, wasn't he, that they're not compatible. So I don't know. Again, Casa Amor is going to be the test, isn't it, Chris? So
Yeah.
but I'm more confident after tonight's episode and just how she handled that one thing. I mean, she could have fucking gone off on one, couldn't she? But she didn't. She handled it well. And I think they could go from strength to strength here.
I will disagree, Mr. Horace, because I think I forgot about Casa Amor. He's going to get with someone at Casa Amor and come back in like nothing's happened. But let's go for it now. So I say he gets with someone. You say you're not so sure. I think they'll be sweet. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to absolutely do one on her and just completely go off and it'll be the perfect excuse because he can't face up to her in my opinion, is his perfect excuse. Have a get out of jail card. He's got a couple of days to try and prep himself before the hell breaks loose. So we could have a Shauna situation on
Well,
our hands.
for the couple, I hope you're wrong. For the drama, I hope you're right.
I love the way the voice went deep then, Dave. I love the way the voice went deep.
I like to put on the nighttime radio voice every now and then, Chris, just for the ladies.
It's not just for the ladies, David. He's doing it for me. But
Which thing was it we were covering? Which show was it where you tried to put on your sexy voice, and you said, "Oh, it just sounded all weird."
it didn't sound right at all.
Can't remember. It sounded like you had a Mac on when you were saying it. Oh, I can't remember now. It'll
It's
come to
probably
me, I'm
Love
sure.
Island. It's got to be Love Island. It's got to be on
No,
this
I've got a
podcast.
feeling it might have been like Love Is Blind or something.
Oh, right. Yeah. You probably you're probably right. Even pathetic attempts at it. Now, what do you think, Dave? Now, I've said it a couple of times about Kirsten, but when they went on the horse ride here in Carrington, went on a date, I just thought they just look like an absolute Ken and Barbie job, don't they? Two
Yeah,
good-looking people, they really are. And he looked good on the horse. The horse jacked a little bit, but I thought the date was quite nice, and I think there's something there. But I do think Dave Carrington. I don't know what's going on, but Carrington, he's just holding back. I don't know whether he's
yeah,
hoping something else is going to come in there. And in my
yeah.
opinion, I don't think there is anyone who's going to get better than her. But it's just the way it's the nature of the game, and it's to be honest.
Yeah, I see it the same way. Carrington's not all in, but Kirsten is. Uh, Carrington, Christ, if you can get better than Kirsten,
Yeah,
good luck to you. But
yeah,
I think she's stunning. She seems like a really nice girl. I text you, didn't I? She reminds me of old Helena Christensen.
yeah.
I say old. Don't know why I put the old on. I thought she was fit as anything when I was in my younger days, Chris. So yeah.
Both of us. Yeah.
No, I think they looked really good together, but no, I'm not that confident about that couple, to be honest. Just because the whole thing with Lauren, I don't think is put to bed either from Lauren's side or from Carrington. I think I think she's seen enough of Connor to just think, well, I've already seen two completely different sides here. I don't know if I can trust you that well.
I think that's
So
a good point.
yeah, so when she's talking to she was talking to Sally, wasn't she, in the pool? I, she was talking more about Carrington than anyone else.
Yeah, she was, to be fair. And just sort of, so we haven't really talked a lot about Sally and Johnny, but Dave, you've literally got to pull your sick bag out, haven't you? They're so, not in a bad way. It's just like these guys are so compatible as far as I can see. I don't think
Pull a sick
anybody's.
bag in a good way, then.
Yeah, well, I don't know how that, but they just doesn't they just seem like the perfect couple, don't they?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that I honestly think, and I said this, the only way it's going to turn is if Johnny's head's turned in Casa Amor. I just cannot see Sally doing anything to jeopardize the relationship. I really can't.
No, but I don't think Johnny, other than brief little bit of a flirt with Lauren, I don't think he's done a lot to suggest that his head will be turned that easily. I think I mean, we can talk a little bit about the vote. So America gets to vote on who's the most compatible couple. I think for me, it's Johnny and Sally from what I've
Oh
seen.
God, yeah, yeah, I agree.
Same for
I
you, yeah.
totally agree. Yeah, honestly, totally agree. And I think they're probably least compatible at the moment is probably Trey and Lauren, and then I would put Mackenzie and Connor in there. I really would. I think it's just desperados with them two, but Lauren isn't into Trey, Dave, at all.
No, I don't think his snoring did him any favors either.
No, I don't. Well, I can relate to that because Sam does say I sound like a fucking shit porting at a dock, so I can't say nothing.
I thought you said a shit then.
Well, it might be like that. She might want to throw that in my face when I'm doing it, but yeah.
So I don't know. What do you reckon about old Freckles and Moira as well?
Hey, that was a bit of a shock, wasn't it? He just sort of he's almost really friend zoned her, hasn't he? They've not
Yeah.
really kissed. They kissed in the game. He then said, Freckles, I love that by the way, Dave. Freckles, he said it's, who was he talking to? Was it Trey or I can't think who he was talking
Was
to.
it Caleb?
I think it was Caleb, yes. And he said, didn't he? Yeah, it was Caleb. And he said, didn't he? I'm not feeling she's not feeling it at the moment. And I'm like, oh no. I mean, James wasn't the right person for Moira, but this is not looking good for her at
You
all.
know James is going to be home, home swearing at the TV. I fucking knew it. If you'd have stuck with me.
Yeah. You'd have a stalker following you around the house.
No, she definitely made the right choice there. But yeah, he's not bothered at all, is he? I think he's even more than he's going to keep his options open. I think he's almost closed the door on Moira.
Yeah, I do.
He, the
Yeah,
way he was
sorry.
talking, he was saying it was something like when we initially met, there was a spark, past tense, but I'm expecting fireworks, and when he was having that candid conversation with Caleb, I just felt like he'd closed the door. Now, of course, the girls will be voting next, won't they? So, he might change his tune a bit, but yeah, it's definitely done for me. So sorry, Chris, I cut across you there.
No, no, no. You were talking. You're right. I have a little theory on Kelvin Dave.
Go
I
on.
think he's a bit of a silent assassin and a bit of a player. Because what I saw tonight seemed to come from nowhere again. A bit like what Justine had done in the last episode, where she went all in on Caleb from nowhere. That was the most random coupling up we've ever seen in Love Island for me. This, I think he only saw a spark, Dave, when he needed to be voted in. And I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure he's like you've just said, he's going to keep Moira sweet until after the vote. And then when it's the guys voting, he's going to be like, right, who else? I think he's going to make a play for Lauren. I really do. I don't think there's been anything there yet, but I can just see something going on. I honestly can.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a chance, to be honest. I think I mean, like I said yesterday, they're all kind of different degrees of 10. But I think the likes of Carrington, James, Connor, I just think they're a bit of a level above. I don't see Calvin in that same league.
Yeah, and look, I'm not trying to be a bit of a dick with this, but I've got to say, Dave, and we questioned this when we've done some of the UK ones, some of the ages. Lauren's not 29. She's about 35, isn't she? She's too experienced. No, I don't mean that in a bad way. She's a good looking girl, but I just mean she's not 29. I don't believe it for a minute. I think she's a lot older, and I think that's why a lot of the guys are a bit drawn to her because she's not as immature as some of the girls. Age
She,
doesn't matter, does it? But
yeah, she's definitely more mature. I don't know, 29? I think I was pretty mature by then.
Dave, I'm going to get some pelters for that one. I just think she's older. I think she's done the old movie star trick and took a couple of years off. But
Yeah, a couple would make her 31. You just called her 35. I don't know about that. But yeah, I don't know. But I'll tell you what about Trey saying that he actually was hoping Carrington will pick Lauren so he could pick Kirsten?
well, Dave, let's be honest here. I was all in on Trey. I think he's a good guy. He's got great advice to everyone else, but he's fucking flaky as anything in it. Come on,
Oh, with the
he
women,
literally,
yeah, he's
yeah, with
one
the
of those.
women. Just
You'd be his best mate, but you wouldn't trust him with your girlfriend, like.
no, no, I'll comfort her. Oh, I wouldn't treat you like that. Oh, that's disgusting the way he's just spoke to her. He Justine dumped him, and I was like, oh, this is out of order. It's totally wrong. Blah blah blah. Within 2 minutes, he was with Lauren. One, he just basically saying, "Let's just get together." He's now looking at Kirsten. You know what he might become, Dave? Was it who was the copper last year who did that a couple
Mike.
of times? Mike, wasn't it? Mike the copper. And he did that in the UK one. He just flicks, didn't he? Literally like that. He would just turn and when he got dumped and his partner got dumped from the island, it was so transparent, wasn't it? And obvious what he was doing. And I get it, because it's your minute of fame. You're never going to get another opportunity like this. But he was like, this is not genuine. And I think Trey's just going to do everything he can to play. And I admire him, and it's great TV to watch because I think he's a lovely guy. But like you just said, he is not honourable at all when it comes to this situation. He's just going to do everything he can. And is that wrong? Not necessarily. I mean, Anna said yesterday about Lauren. I think Lauren's doing the same thing, Dave. Lauren is just on the girls' side. I think she will do everything she can to stay in there because she's unique with her being from the UK. I mean, we had Connor in the Irish guy from season one. who
Oh
came
yeah, yeah.
in. But I think Lauren might have a bit of a career after this, Dave, because all eyes are on him. She's from the UK. She's slightly different than what they've got in there. And I just think there could be something there for her. She might have everything they need to sort of advance her career. So I think she's game playing as well. But it's great TV. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of Lauren. You know, she's come in, she's made some waves just because of how she is. Like you say, she's mature, but I mean, she's not like Moira from the UK season, is she? You know, who came in with the right mouth on her, and she
Yeah.
created waves. She's not that same kind of outgoing personality. So I'm not too sure. And like you say with with Mike, I mean, Mike made it to like not didn't he make it to the final? He made it to the
He
last
got
three or
close,
something.
something like that. Yeah, the
Yeah,
last three
he got
couples or
close,
something.
but and not long before Casa Amor, I think he'd been dumped, hadn't he? So again, retrospectively, you kind of look at it and go, well, yeah, he played a blinder. He wasn't kind of. I don't think he was in any of them for actual relationships, but
No.
just to kind of stick around and try and win the 50 grand. So you're right. I think Trey might be playing that same game, but who knows? Who knows? But Chris, so Mackenzie gets a text and someone gets to go away in the hideaway, and she makes
Oh,
it
yes.
very clear that, it should be her and Connor. And then Moira says, well, should we discuss it? What did you think to how that all unfolded?
All I needed was the Hitchcock music and the knife and the shell went. Yes, she. They almost did a bit of a. Remember that doom? What was it on TGI Fridays? It was off a film, wasn't it? That doom, doom, doom. They all look at each other. Or Vic Reeves used to do it as well. Where the camera panned. This is a terrible description. Nobody's gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. But
Even I don't. I used to
no,
watch
I
it.
don't.
I
It's
can't
I
remember.
can't do it. I can't even do the theme tune bit to it. But when they pan to everyone and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm moving my head here as if you can see me." But anyway, doesn't matter. The fucking camera panned to about 6 different people, and everyone was like, "Tumbleweed, why have you even dared to fucking denounce Mackenzie? You should not actually go against it." And I think Moira was right. They've not been solid. I mean, Johnny and Sally have been in there, haven't they? So we get that.
Yeah.
They can't go in there again. Is there anybody else you would have got? Maybe Justine and Caleb. At the end of the day, new couple. They seem really into each other. I don't
No,
think there's anything wrong.
I don't think that would have been fair. Brand new couple. So who else would be candidates? I'd have said Kirsten and Carrington.
Carrington, sorry, yeah, probably number one. But I wouldn't have put Connor and Mackenzie in there. Not the way things have gone.
Um, I mean they have been coupled up, you know, since early on, haven't they?
Yeah,
So I don't know. I think honestly, I think Mackenzie had a good shout to say it should have been them, and they've been through this rocky patch. And like I say, at the end of that first kind of scene, if you like, at the start of the episode, they kind of seem to get closer to being on the same page. I think she was within her rights to be a bit bolshy and say, "Yep, yep, come on, let's go." I mentioned Moira from the UK season 5. She would have absolutely done that. I don't think there was anything wrong from it. And the way I saw it is, Moira, you are not a good friend. Because she was the one who I called her out for, when it landed when they were playing the Vegas games and Mackenzie and Connor were coupled up, and she could have, got Connor to do anything, but she chose to kiss him. I think it's one of these, like bitchy catfight type friend things, like a
yeah.
Mean Girls type thing. I don't think they're really actually good friends.
I don't even not even noticed that, Dave, until you said it. I'm gonna have to rewatch that bit. I just think it was, unless I mean, look, let me cut Mackenzie a little bit of slack. Maybe it had been agreed, Dave, after Sally and Johnny went in that they were next, and we've not seen that. So to make the drama, Moira does say it, question it. She's not been set up to say it, but we have no context to it. So maybe that's why there was the tumbleweed moment. But again, fucking great TV, Dave. I was pissing myself laughing.
Well, like I say, I think Kirsten and Carrington could be in with a shout, but again, they've just been on a date,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm with Mackenzie and Connor on this one.
We'll see, Dave. We will see. And I think you're probably right, to be honest. Now that we've talked it out, I think you're probably right. But I just don't think there's any longevity in the relationship other than maybe them both getting a bit of action. But there you go. Anyway.
Hashtag free Connor. You know,
Hashtag Connor has no spine. Yeah.
I don't know. I think so. So, like I say, I enjoy it more when we don't agree, to be honest. So, I'm again, I'm probably 50-50, whereas you're like, no, they're definitely going to split up. So, let me say 51% they're going to stay together and stick it out. 49% they're not. So I'm going to slightly get off the fence a little bit.
A little bit, Dave.
I've still got most of my left cheek on there. So
Yeah. I thought you were going to say a nose, Dave. Then it might have been a few more percent for me. But anyway, if you want to get in contact with us, guys, at CD Realitycast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. So, Mr. Horrocks, we have a couple of days off now to the next episode because tonight's episode 11 is just a recap. We're not going to go through that because it's just showing all the stuff we've talked about over the week. So we will see everybody on Monday.
see you now.